for 3.5, almost 4 years now, I've heard repeatedly by Democrats, individuals at the White House, that that's essentially undermining our justice system. That's essentially undermining the norms of our country. And here you have the sitting president going after his own Justice Department saying, well, these charges would not have been brought because his son's last name happened to be Biden. Now, look, I wrote an opinion piece at the time, Anderson, disagreeing with the case as it pertains to the firearm issue. I have a host of issues there, being a firearms guy myself. But there is a lot of precedent with other individuals, particularly of color, being charged with the same crime. Hunter Biden isn't somehow absolved or special because he's the president's son. So I think that's complete nonsense. On the tax charge, I would argue there are a whole host of other individuals that have had to deal with other issues very similar, such as Wesley Snipes, a known actor, who actually had to go to prison. He didn't get a pardon. And so there's a ton of hypocrisy here from my perspective as a conservative. It's the perpetual line over and over and over again. It's the, I am somehow morally superior to Trump or to Republicans, and yet you do the same thing. You make the same argument. You're not superior at all.
Hey, at this point, Democrats, when you hear a Democrat open their mouth, just put hypocrite on the top of it every single time, right? What the F? Biden is considering pardons for Fauci, Schiff, and Cheney. Now, it's just amazing to me how, I mean, he already pardoned his son. It can't get any worse than that. But I want to point out how much of a black eye this stuff is for the Democratic brand, their messaging. Like I said in other videos, I think this is my third pardon video, because this conversation keeps coming, and leftist, Democrat, it don't matter. No one has any ability to defend this stuff. Days after Joe Biden pardoned his son Hunter for a 10-year period, dating back to his involvement with Burisma, many people are speculating that he pardoned Hunter in reality is him pardoning himself. Senior White House aides are reportedly locked in a contentious debate over a potential unprecedented move, right? Issuing preemptive pardons to a wide range of current and former public officials who could find themselves under intense scrutiny, prosecution after Trump takes office. Remember, Trump was trying to think about doing this for his kids, and I find it so rich from the left, right? How they're here defending lies, like Whoopi got confronted by Charlemagne over why you don't have to share the lie, right? Whoopi says Whoopi freaks out on Charlemagne on Wednesday after he said Biden lied about pardoning Hunter, calling the move hypocritical. He didn't have to volunteer that lie to begin with. I'm going to stop you right there for a second. Only because you don't know it was a lie. We don't know when he changed his mind. When he changed his mind. Like Trump can say the same thing about all his supposed lies. You really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all of a sudden? No, I'm going to tell you what I think. I think he changed because he got sick of watching everyone else get over, because at some point you get to the place where you just go, so I'm going to follow the straight and narrow and cause what's expected of, that's because it was expected of Democrats. But that's their fault. They're the ones that got out there, and they're the one who stand on the moral high ground. They don't have to do that. I agree with you, Charlemagne. And the funny part is, they're doing all this stuff when this is how they reacted when Trump was in the same position. And this is where you can validate if someone is being principled about something or someone's just being tribal about it. Here's 4 years ago, Joy Reid making fun, mocking, or suggesting that Trump is guilty and people around him are guilty because that he was considering preemptive pardons for his children. Look at the reactions to this versus their Hunter Biden pardon today.
Barack Obama never had to think about whether he needed to pardon Sasha and Malia, and yet Donald Trump is reportedly discussing pardons for his kids. The presidential pardon was originally meant to grant the president the power to temper justice with mercy. It was not enshrined in our Constitution so that a dishonorable man could reward his criminal allies, friends, and family for their corrupt practices. Trump is considering preemptive pardons for his adult children. Late last night, we learned that Trump has discussed preemptive pardons for his 3 eldest progeny. The news was first reported by the New York Times. And joining me now is Congressman Adam Schiff of California, chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. Have you ever heard of somebody getting a preemptive pardon who was innocent of all crime? Who's just an innocent person? Have you ever heard of that? Just somebody getting a blanket pardon and they're an innocent person?
But no, it's the president's own family It's people that have been covering up for the president in addition to his own family. And so there is a self-interest at play as well. It's been essentially a den of thieves environment. And so I think the president used this as his way of trying to protect those that have protected him.
Hypocrisy of the left, right? Here's some points, some examples of certain reasons why. Hey, why do Hunter Biden needs a 10-year pardon? The Bidens received more than $1 million from a corrupt Romanian businessman, Gabriel Povecvic. I messed that up. While VP Biden was campaigning against corruption in Romania. When Sarah and Jim Biden faced a large debt, a Biden donor gave them $900,000. Then VP Biden awarded the donor a lucrative contract in Ukraine. Interesting. Biden wrote college recommendation letters for two of Hunter Biden's Chinese business partner children. Interesting. Biden received a 10% cut in ventures that CCP linked CEFC China Energy, earning $6 million. Hunter transferred $400K to his father. This is all alleged, right? But, I say there's enough circumstantial evidence to suggest that we should be investigating this stuff. This is just my position. Through his uncle's bank account, exactly 10% of the $400K he made from the Chinese CEFC venture, right? This is too many coincidences not to look into. That's all I'm trying to say. But that's just some, motive, because many people, right, like myself, are speculating he absolved Hunter because Hunter was the vulnerable point that could get him. Many people are seeing this as him trying to save himself. And you're going to see on this video that I'm share with you all that Destiny is going to get triggered, right? Piers Morgan, he's doing his thing out here. When the DNC chair, Lenny, I forgot her name, sorry guys, Lindy Lee, triggers Destiny by laying out the fact about Hunter Biden's pardon situation.
This is 11 years. The pardon covered 11 years. It was sprawling. And I think, the next one we should watch for is possibly him pardoning James Biden. Because 11 years not only covered, his presidency, but also his VP time and also Hunter's time during Burisma. And it's just so incredibly ironic. And I'm speaking as a Democrat, that even Democrats and members of the intelligence community said that laptop was just a made-up story. Now, in one fell swoop, Biden basically proved his haters right, that there was something in that laptop. And I hate to say it, but it's just true. This is just a black eye to his legacy.
And by the way, on the laptop, let's not forget the New York Post had the laptop scoop. And
I'm starting to think when I see leftists do this, like when they start trying to act on camera, like they're so, oh my God, this is so dumb. I always think, that doesn't help your argument. Like, you pretending that someone, it's all an optics game in reality, really. Like, you can't dispute what she's saying. He's sitting there contemplating life, right? Like, damn, how do I push back against this? He tries, but it doesn't make sense. Like, it don't. You tax evasion and gun charges. Everyone, if you just pardon that, the time period when that happened, people are going to be like, oh, okay, the other stuff don't matter. But when you do 10 years back, starting from 2014, January 1st, 2014, when you became Vice President Joe Biden, people are going to start looking into it. Burisma, all these weird donations that somehow Biden does something that benefits that weird donation to Hunter Biden. It's too much coincidence not to look into. But the left want to pretend to be ignorant on this.
And liberal controlled big tech at the time, including Twitter, Facebook, and others, they suppressed that story from being published. In fact, hang on. In fact, the New York Post, because I write columns to the New York Post, for 2 weeks before that election, their whole Twitter account was suspended because they refused to take down a legitimate, true story, as it turned out. That is an appalling attack on free speech, an abuse of the First Amendment, and actually it could have swung the election. Who knows? If that laptop story had come out and been properly forensically examined by the media, it could have tipped the election Trump's way. 40,000 votes. 40,000 votes in the end decided that election. So hang on, I'm still with Lindy. I'm still with Lindy, Francesca. Wait one moment, please. Just play me your buzzer for a moment. Thank you. Lindy, here's my point, is that it's not just about Hunter Biden being dragged into something. the laptop contained evidence of crimes, and it was suppressed from the media in that 2-week period before that election. And that is a much bigger picture than whether Hunter Biden got pulled into politics.
Right. And I think this is not just an act of love. It wasn't just a father's compassion. It was almost perhaps even an act of self-preservation, because we don't know what happened in those 11 years. It's covered everything from 2014.
You see the acting? What? She's saying something so crazy and insane. Okay, triggered. Like, get triggered, but it don't matter. These questions have to be answered. That's why it's one thing I always say. If someone has questions and you can't really answer, you have to dance around the question. You have to mock them. You have to label them. Oh, you're conspiratorial. Okay, you don't have an answer. You ain't got the answer, Sway. But here you are, appalled about what she's saying here. Everything she's saying makes sense. Any logical person, any critical thinking person will come to the same conclusion as this lady. Yo, could what they're saying about the laptop be true? Does it have some evidence that could tie Biden into all this mess? Oh, it's already been investigated and it is proven to be. No, you guys got in the way. You obstructed. You didn't want to provide evidence. You didn't want us to get testimony from Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden didn't want to show up for interviews. He should be going to jail for all this stuff. But no, he gets special treatment.
To December 1st, 2024. So this whole thing is gigantic. And I think in the next couple of weeks, we're going to see more pardons coming out. I think this is really just the tip of the iceberg. My guess would be that he might even pardon people who were involved in Hunter's business. Who knows? I'm guessing the next person might be
Hunter for 8 years.
All right, let's bring in Francesca, if she's put her buzzer down. Francesca.
8 years. Where are the charges?
There are none.
Statute of limitations, bro.
They started the investigation 8 years ago when they had the laptop. What do you mean statute of limitations?
You go back to when the
fact
crimes were
that
committed.
Hunter Biden sat on a call and he said, "I'm here with my father. You know, we expect you to follow through." He basically shook down.
And you hear what the argument from the lady in purple said? What happened to you, Lindy? What? I can't criticize my own party now? Like, sit down. You're wrong. I don't side with people who are liberal or Republican. I side with people who I think is right, and I side against people who are wrong. That's any critical thinking person's position. And the fact that one of the rebuts you heard from the two liberals on the panel is, what happened to you, Lindy? What? You're mad that she's criticizing your guy? Make a better argument. That's what I'm talking about. When they got nothing to say, they try to slander you, smear you. They try to question your character, your integrity. When the question is, this stuff is concerning. This is going to hurt the future of the Democratic Party, but you can't see it through your short-term thinking. And this is a big problem with the Democratic Party and a lot of the people that advocate for them.
A Chinese business
Where's
person.
Oh my
He
goodness.
said it time and time again.
Lindy, can I ask you a question?
And
Does anyone here care
even a
that
venerable
Jared
medical
Kushner-
media institution like CBS said that 10% to the big guy can't be anybody but Joe Biden. And I hate saying this.
Oh, I didn't know
I
CBS was part of the
brings me no joy to
DOJ.
acknowledge it,
Is
but
CBS going to bring charges?
We lose all credibility if we do not acknowledge reality.
Oh my God.
She's trying to help y'all, but oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
This
She's
is
trying to help
11
you.
years.
This is the medicine that the Democrats need right now. Y'all need that. Y'all need that. Because now y'all can't be spinning these narratives. Y'all can't be acting so morally indignant. Hell, even Chuck Todd is talking about this.
Statement that Joe Biden made in and around the pardon, where he essentially used the exact same rhetoric that Donald Trump uses about the justice system. That, it was biased against Hunter Biden. I mean, you could have literally said, I could have said to you, did Donald Trump say this or did Biden say this? And a lot of people might have said, oh, this is something Trump would say. It's not something we were used to Joe Biden saying about the rule of law and about the justice system. Well, now you have, so forget who started it. You have the leading Democrat in America and the leading Republican in America both agreeing on one thing. The Justice Department has been politicized. That is absolutely that is long-term damaging. This is no longer short-term damaging. This is no longer one election at a time. And then it's that. So now we're in a situation where every party's going to come in, and as they leave, everybody gets their security blanket pardon. Okay, how long do you want it? You want a 10-year window? Because we now have established this 10-year window of whatever you can, this get out of jail free card. Is it going to be June 15th, 2015, the day he came down the escalator, to July 20th, 2029? Well, guess what? There's now a precedent for it. That's what's so damaging about this decision.
So that's Chuck Todd essentially admitting that this is a black eye on the Democrats. And this is how I know that they know that they're cooked when it comes to this pardon issue, right? Because Trump was saying it for a long time. Hey, DOJ is politicized. DOJ is politicized. DOJ is politicized. Democrats kept ignoring him, saying, "No, you're lying. Oh, if you're not doing anything wrong, you don't have nothing to worry about." Then Biden coming out, and just as what Chuck's top point is, both parties are saying that the DOJ is corrupt now, so it's bipartisan technically. And you have a lady bringing up who's a chair, Democratic chair, and now these liberal influencers, social media YouTubers, whatever these two people are not accusing this lady of being a grifter. You can't make this up. That's why I'm telling you, they have no argument. They can't really defend. All their only defense is slander and mockery. That's the only way they can try to get out of this. And no one's falling for it because they have no credibility anymore. You can mock, shame, and label people something if you have the perceived moral high ground, but you don't. This is why all this is not working. Let's take a little look, because I was going to end the video off with the Chuck Todd, but I found this interesting clip, and I think we need to hear more of this.
Quickly, and I mean no disrespect. I just feel that it is so funny that the Democratic Party has also surrounded itself, like the Republican Party, with honestly opportunistic grifters like Lindy Lee, who has posited herself as someone who actually cares about American democracy.
Imagine calling someone who worked in the DNC a grifter because she comes out against your party. This is the political tribalism that I'm talking about. When Republicans do it, oh, we're fine. Oh no, we bicker all the time. Like, imagine Trump won the popular vote, the first president to win it in I don't know how long, and the Republicans are still going against some of his cabinet picks. But she wants to pretend, there's grifters in the Republican Party. No, there's grifters on the left. Hassan Piker being the biggest one. How are you a socialist, but you live in a $3 million house? How come you haven't done any redistribution of wealth to your followers that helped you get there, Hassan Piker? But you're talking about opportunistic grifters. How about Kamala's campaign? $1.4 billion, and you lost in a landslide electoral college. Like, make it make sense. You lost all 7 swing states. You didn't win 1 swing state, but you want to call Lindy Lee because she disagreed with you, because she's criticizing your beloved party. Oh, you want to call her a grifter. The pot calling the kettle black.
Spotlighting the threats that Trump has posed and will continue to pose to the American people. And now that the Harris campaign lost, which I think was definitely their election to lose, given just how much Trump was like not even trying, and he didn't win by the popular vote, he won by less than 50%. Harris dropped the ball. Lindy Lee was all in on the campaign. And now she's pivoting because she's like, you know what? I want to go to the winning side. And now the Hunter Biden laptop story is.
How about she's shifting because she realized, the approach we taking didn't work. We need to shift. This is why I'm coming out to criticize. See, there's nothing positive. Like this person here, and this is the problem with the left. They always assume the worst about somebody instead of assuming the best, right? You could assume that, she just wants better for the party, and this is why she's criticizing, because, hey, how can we be have this moral high ground when we're doing literally the same thing that we accuse Trump of doing as evil? We can't reconcile that with the American people. We need to stop doing this. How you're allowed to do a blanket statement pardon, and now you're giving Trump the same ability to do it. Chuck Todd is saying this. Other people are saying this. Republicans been saying this, that we didn't believe Joe Biden. We'll see after election, says Chris Wallace. People say, but Biden said it. Biden said he wouldn't pardon his son. We'll see after election, said Republicans. And what happened? You proved the Republicans right. So how are you sitting here trying to make this argument that she's being a grifter when she's pointing out, this is hurting the party? Oh, but she's trying to go on the winning side. She's trying to shift her position. This is the purity test that many liberals complain about when it comes to progressive leftists, that they want everyone to fall in line with the same messaging. And if you differ from that message, somehow you're a grifter. Somehow you're switching sides. And this is how you push out many people who would help your side with the middle. This is how you push them away. And this is how the Democratic Party became a far left party.
Is a thing. That's just so craven and so pathetic. And I'm someone who has not received a single dollar from the Democratic Party or any
Neither have
institution
I.
to talk about my views.
Neither have I. Have you
Okay,
made
now,
so
okay.
much money off
Now
of it.
I will
And
let
it's
Lindy.
so pathetic.
Now
It's
I will
pathetic.
let Lindy respond. Hang on,
Tell me
Lindy.
one person
Hang on,
who's paid
Lindy.
me.
Hang
One
on,
person.
Lindy. I will now let you respond.
Tell me one person who's paid me.
I don't know, girl.
Who's
I don't
paid
know.
me?
You tell me. Who's
You're just
paid?
making
You
Making
tell me.
accusations with no evidence.
Are we allowed to curse on here?
Yeah.
I don't need
uncensored.
anybody's
Go off.
money. No one has paid me. You're just making this is like libelous. It's defamation. No one has
obviously
paid me.
no one has to pay you. It's all about influencerdom, right? It's
Now
about
you're changing
using
your
your
story.
name
Don't
and your
change your
brand.
story. Just
Why-
a minute
why is
ago,
your
you
brand
just said I was a grifter and I was getting
I
paid
never
and I
said
made
you did. I
so
said
many
I didn't.
dollars.
But
You're
why are
making
you
it up. I
changing
don't
your
know
brand?
who you are.
Knowing, like, if I criticize, let's say I criticize Republican, hey, these Republicans that's going against Donald Trump's picks, we should primary all of them. I'm not changing my brand because I have criticism. I say, yo, we got a mandate to go along with Trump's agenda, yet you questioning his cabinet picks. Just put his picks in already. You didn't do this to Biden. So me criticizing Republicans, all of a sudden I'm changing my brand now because I'm starting to criticize Republican. Make it make sense. This is how collectivist these people are. And it doesn't produce an environment for critical thinkers. And this is why I say the left cannot create their own Joe Rogan, because the minute someone has that ability to be the next Joe Rogan, you guys will already have to push them out because that person doesn't go 100% with what you believe to be true, what your narrative is.
Respectfully.
Why are you? You don't need to know who I am.
Gavin
Why are you
Newsom,
changing
who
your brand?
came out
No one
against the
does.
pardon, is he a grifter too? Is Governor Jared Polis also a grifter for
Ryan.
saying that the pardon was a bad idea because Joe Biden repeatedly lied? If you're going to pardon your son, fine. There are arguments in favor of that. But why did you have to lie repeatedly and say that you weren't? He lied after
lying
the
is bad.
And in
It's like
terms of
saying
the
that
Harris
COVID-19 is
campaign,
just a
I
cold
did not
and then a
find out.
million
Can I
Americans are
please
dead.
finish the
Lying
sentence?
really
Why
is
do you
bad.
insist on talking over people again and again? In terms of the Harris campaign, I raised millions of dollars for that campaign. I donated buildings in a church to the campaign. I did not find out until after she lost that millions were spent on, for example, $2.5 million was spent on Oprah. $500 million went to just 4 well-connected Democratic firms, including bullying.
Welcome to the political revolution, girl. The
Can you
Democratic Party
please-
won't save you.
I don't know what's going on with you, but can you please let somebody finish? Thank you so much.
Please finish.
And also,
Oh my God, yo, this is so on brand for leftists. Like the woman in purple. She reminds me of this college girl I used to debate all the time. She used to hate the fact that I was black and I didn't just go along with democratic orthodoxy. She'll do the same ish. Oh, you mean like this racist, this, and I go, they can't stop me, so I don't really care about racists. And she will get so triggered the same way this purple lady is here. Always have to talk when I'm talking. I'm like, yo, what's your problem? Can you not stand that a black man disagrees with you? Isn't it kind of racist to assume that I should agree with everything you're saying because it happens to come from the left? It happens to come from a Democrat. Isn't that racist? I remember I used to throw all that, and it used to always stump her. And even her look, she even looks like the girl. I'm just being honest. This is the type of stuff I dealt with in college. And I think this is what really turned me off towards liberals and the left, because of the people that represents them. Like, you don't even have a common courtesy to let someone finish talking. I know you're emotional right now. And that's the funny part. She wants to call this person a grifter and all this stuff, but she can't help but interject because she loves the Democrats so much. She loves Team Blue so much. She's so tribal. So tribal. How dare you criticize the Democratic Party? This is blasphemy. It's amazing.
and millions of dollars to celebrities. It's in millions of dollars to private planes and also 5-star hotels for campaign staffers. I have donors who donated anywhere from $10 to $25 of their hard-earned money to $1 million. They are fuming. And we had no idea this was going on. The campaign, during the campaign, said that we were going to win 3 to 4 battleground states. That was what we were expecting. Jenna O'Malley Dillon went around the world telling people that we were definitely going to win the campaign. But they knew all along, now we know, they knew all along that Kamala Harris was losing. She was behind Trump the entire time. But when she was with us donors, when they were whining and dining us, they told us a completely different story.
Ooh, that sounds like the real grift. But because she has criticism, because she's exposing this, because it's so inconvenient to the narrative that Democrats like to portray themselves as a virtuous, moral party when they're a bunch of grifters, liars, and frauds. You want to, oh, why are you changing? Why are you switching up? Why are you changing? Who wouldn't criticize that? You wasted $1.4 billion to get swept by the swing states. Make it make sense. You told the donors one thing when internally you knew all along that you never led Trump, ever. But you continue lying to donors because you wanted their money. But you have the audacity to call her a grifter. And you're not a grifter for defending this crap? You have donors out here making public statements saying that Kamala Harris' political future is over because no one can trust her with money ever again. And this brand, this black eye on the Democrats, is going to follow them for a couple more years. And the more left-wing pundits or influencers that continue to defend this mess, that don't reject what's going on with Biden's pardons, the lies that the Democrat has sown in the public discourse, the rhetoric that they push, you continue defending this mess, oh, this is going to extend. And the long-term ramifications of this, I don't think we're going to see it until we ain't going to see the results of this until 2026. I think that's going to be my litmus test to how bad of a black eye that the Democrats receive from the fact of Joe Biden's pardons, equate with the wasted money from the Kamala Harris campaign, the fact that Kamala campaign staff lied about how much money, how their odds of winning in the election, the fact that Kamala's campaign staff don't want to look at themselves and see how they contributed to the loss of Kamala Harris, the tactics that they're done. They don't want to look inward. They want to blame everyone but themselves. We're going to see all that culminate in 2026, and we're going to see the results of that. But I digress. I think I talked long enough. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, what you guys are thinking about this whole reaction, about this whole timeline, actually. The fact that in 2020, Democrats were also, preemptive pardons are bad, and now here they are in 2024 justifying it for Joe Biden. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this hypocrisy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching the end of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.